A towering figure on the global stage, ringing the peace bell at the United Nations, a man who did so much in the cause of global peace. UN Secretary-General for 10 years, a Nobel Peace Laureate. Kofi Annan was born in Ghana, joining the UN in 1962, rising through the ranks to be the organisation's head of peacekeeping at the time of genocide in Rwanda. 800,000 people were killed. He later said it was one of his greatest regrets that he was not able to do more to halt the bloodshed.
I, Kofi Annan, solemnly swear.
When he became the first UN staffer to take over the top job, he prepared the UN for a new millennium. His tenure coincided with the arrival of a new president in the White House. After 9/11, the US invaded Afghanistan, and then, dividing the UN Security Council, Iraq. He had tried to avoid war with tireless diplomacy and by keeping a team of weapons inspectors in the country until the last moment. Later, the UN went back into Baghdad after the invasion, but its compound was then bombed with 22 staff killed. Iraq was also the biggest controversy of his decade in the UN job. The oil for food program set up to help Iraqis led to massive corruption, with the Secretary-General's own son, Kojo, implicated. When he stepped down at the UN, he addressed these remarks to his successor, Ban Ki-moon.
You are about to take over the most impossible job on earth. End of quote. While that may be true, I would add, this is also the best possible job on earth.
Thank you very much. He did not choose to go into quiet retirement. He was the UN and Arab League envoy to Syria in 2012, coming up with a plan that would have ended the war 6 years ago. But it was ignored by the parties that continued to fight. More recently, he went to Myanmar, coming up with proposals that form the basis of the international community's approach to the Rohingya crisis. The result, once again, of his own personal style of diplomacy. Strong words, but softly spoken.
If you get into the shouting marches, sometimes they have bigger megaphones than you have, and it doesn't necessarily get you where you want to go. There are times when you have to raise your voice, and there are times when I have had to. But generally, I can get results without shouting.